Hey guys, hey, it's a brew day, that's for sure. Alright, so what we're doing today on the brew, the stars have yet aligned again, and we are going, being the first mate, we are going to brew my famous Innsmouth, Shadowed Innsmouth Porter, if you can say that long name. Shadowed Innsmouth Porter, okay, dedicated to H.P. Lovecraft and my favorite story by him. I won third place making this beer in a local NJ, New Jersey, some sort of, I guess, I don't know, it's a farmer, you know, like one of those blue ribbon type things, you know, it was a homebrew contest or whatever at some local farm or something like that up North Jersey. I didn't go, obviously, but I set the beers up and hey, I took third place. Never entered anything before, and hey, this is an award-winning recipe. So we're bringing up the water up to temperature. My coffee is on the boil, because you gotta drink the coffee. That's on the stove boiling. I haven't eaten yet today. A lot of running around. Just starting to brew this afternoon, whatever. It's 11 o'clock. Whatever, man. This is unscripted, live TV. So the grains are right here. We got 2 ounces of East Kent Goldings, Fuggles. That'll go in at either flame out or the last 5 to 10 minutes on the boil. I forget. I have to look at the recipe. We have our grains, and we got... for this particular porter that I do, I use, instead of the light dry malt extract, I darken it up even more and add the dark, 3 pounds of the dark DME. Hopefully it'll finish out the normally where I got some, ooh, let me show you, right back. Free yeast, a nice little cake. I got free yeast. I was gonna go with the same yeast that I used, coffee done. I was going to use the same yeast that I used, that I won, you know, got the 3rd place for, because obviously it's not technically exactly the same recipe, but is it ever really? You know, when you're home brewing, you always tweak it here and there, but I wanted to stay to a T to this. It still uses the liquid ale yeast that I used, but this is a dry liquid English ale yeast. Not dry, I'm sorry. This is, dry liquid ale yeast. I think it's a drier finish or something like that. That's what the guy, that's what it's called. It's probably WPL 002 or 007, I believe, if that were like a White Labs. Because I've used this same yeast before, the dry yeast. I know. I don't want getting confused, because when you think dry yeast, you think the little sachets, but no, it's called a dry English ale yeast. So I guess maybe it makes the beer a drier finish. I'm not sure, but that's what it's called. And the one that I normally use is an English ale yeast, but it was WPL 002. I believe that was the original. But whatever. So nice looking there. Look at that, nice cleaned. It was he had it all ready to go. If you bought the grains that day, you got the freaking free starter, free starter yeast right off the flask. So put that over here for later, and I'll bring you back when we get up to temperature. I gotta find my thermometer when I have me a cup of coffee, and I'll bring you back when I bring you back, and that'll probably be when we're going in. So catch you then. Grains, baby, grains. Get them in. Got about 3 gallons of water in here. I really don't like this green bag though. It's really tight fitting, so it doesn't let the grains like flow as nice as my older bag was, but it is what it is. I've been brewing with this bag. I mean, I wanted to upgrade because the other one had started to get holes in it, They don't last too long. Plus, see, like, it stretches. It's like it's stretching. I'll bring you in on a closer look once I get this in. some of my greens. Pull them out. No! Get this real good mix. Just hoping the temperature is not going to drop below 150. I got my oven temperature up. Well, off now, but you know, I always warm up my oven. So when I put this hot pan in there, it should try and maintain the temperature as best as possible. Let's see where we're at. Yeah, we're still at 160 according to the thermometer. Normally you get like a 5-degree temperature drop. I'm just going to really mix this in real good. Oh yeah, she's going to be a dark beer. Oh yeah, I love it. And I'm thinking for my next brew after this one to do another porter on top of this one. Like basically take the yeast cake, when I'm done with this, bottle this in 2 weeks after it ferments, bottle it, and then instead of just dumping the yeast away, clean it from memory, I might just do like a double batch. Normally I normally don't start another beer. Jeez. I normally don't start another beer till I get about you know, halfway through like one of the crates of drinking them, and then I'll start brewing again once I start, you know, drinking, you know, like say 15 beers or 20 beers, then, you know, then I'll say, oh, gotta start brewing again, that type of thing. But all right, hopefully this temperature will maintain. We shall see. I'm gonna leave it open for a minute because it seems like the stove is, I hope you guys can see me, the stove is a little hot, so yeah, I left it on too long. I just wanted to heat it up for like a minute or two, and I let it go till it got up to like 350, so yeah, I don't want my beer getting to be 350. I'm not gonna cook my grains. So yeah. Alright guys, yeah, so that's an idea that I'm thinking about doing. Yeah, so like I was saying, I was thinking about once this beer's done, you know, getting the beer in the bottles and then have that residual, that good yeast, instead of just tossing it, I want to just make a beer, like a quick one, and dump it right on top of it and make another porter. But I'm going to do the Craig 2 Porter. Now, I've always followed Craig Fairway and his whole, you know, his whole beer journeys. I mean, I started back watching him on how to make beer. When I started, that's what you did. You look up on YouTube, hey, how do I make beer? Is it cheaper to make my own beer and whatever else? It is in Canada, not here. Here it's a hobby. But over there, you can buy, you know, like when I started out, like we all started out with the Cooper's kits. You know, it's a big extract of beer. And basically everything's already, you know, the wort and everything is already condensed in a can. Basically it's like Campbell's soup. You mix it in the pot. You add a little more sugar to it, or some more dextrose, or, you know, another bag like the priming sugar like I just showed you. Not priming sugar, DME, dry malt extract, and you put those together, and then you got your beer. I mean, it's not a great beer, but it's decent, and you can always soup it up. So he always had a recipe called the Craig 2 Porter, and you take an English bitter kit from Cooper's, and you mix that with some DME and some dextrose or some more sugar, and I think an ounce of Fuggles hops and some grains, and that's it. So I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to get some grains, some chocolate grains. I think the recipe was chocolate grains and some Crystal 60. That's it. Pound it each, or only a couple of ounces. I think a pound or a couple ounces, and then you just, you know, basically do like a hop tea. Put it on the boil, and then let it steep for like a half hour, 40 minutes. Add your hops for like a 5-minute boil. Done. Flame out. Add it all to the fermenter, open up the cans of extracts, and you're done. So I think that's what I might just do. Simple, easy, and then just dump it right on top of the old yeast cake, the dirty yeast cake, and see how it goes. Hey, you might as well, right? I mean, I just have to figure out timing-wise. You know, I want to have the can. I got to order it, you know, obviously online. And that's the thing about Cooper's kits. It costs just as much to make one of those canned beers as it is for me to do this process as you're seeing right now. 40 bucks. This cost me 40 bucks to make. Grains, and this is Captain Bailey's ale. This isn't Cooper's ale. You know what I'm saying? This isn't, you know, just like, it's not, you know, Campbell's soup. It's like I'm making the soup from scratch, you know, pretty much. Almost from scratch, because you add this, you know, obviously this is already, you know, for those of you who don't know how to make beer, I mean, I know I'm preaching to the choir to all the other guys, but this basically, you know, this is the wort that you make liquid form when you're done brewing your beer, or doing this process of waiting for the grains to, you know, emulsify, or enzymes, or whatever it is, the term. And basically, you know, this is boiled and everything else, and then they dehydrate it. So then basically this is it. This is the wort. So basically I do 50-50, and it works for me. And I make really, really, as you can see, award-winning beer. All this stuff going on here. All right, so bring it back for the first hop drop. I know. All right, first bait's got the hop bag ready. Spent grains. If I get any more wort drippings out of that, I'll just add it to the pot. Nice creamy, foamy, toppy head here going on. We're waiting for the, obviously, the boil to start happening, so we're gonna do our first hop addition, which is 2 ounces of East Kent Goldings, and boil that for an hour. And what I did was I sparged with about 1 gallon of water, boiled water. So we're topped up here, as you can see, that's the level. So I'm just going to maintain this. Hopefully I don't get no boil overs. I'll bring you back as soon as I get to that rolling boil. Alrighty, there we go. We have reached the boil. Okay. Ooh, I better get my Star Sand ready. Oh boy. See that, you just spray it with a little bit of Star Sand. Sanitizer, keep the foam down so this rolling boil breaks. That's all you gotta do. Come on, come on, come on, come on. Yeah, I don't want this. Do not want sugary wort boiling all over the place. Actually, need to get a spoon. Alright, so there we go. We got the trying to put my timer on for an hour. Hey, one-handed. I think we got it. I'm gonna set the timer for an hour. Next hop drop will be at flame out. 1 ounce of Fuggles. Alright. Alright guys, I got the chiller in. And we're working on chilling it down. I didn't show the last hop drop, or the which is just flame out, and then I added the DME, which is always difficult, and you don't need to see me struggling trying to get a bunch of powder mixed in here. So what I do is, as you can see, I just keep stirring my spoon around the coils till she gets down to about 100 degrees. And my top up water is going to be pretty cold. I don't want it to go, you know, down to 60 degrees like it did last time. So I'm going to try and just get this around 100, maybe a little below 100, and then top it up with a couple gallons of that ice cold water out in the fridge. And then I'll bring you back and we'll do a reading after this done. It'll probably take you about half hour to cool it down, give or take. So, alright, matey. Hey guys, Brewday's done. Shaking the yeast. We're sitting right at, I'm gonna say, 1060. It's hard to say. It looks like it wants to go up a little bit higher than that. No, 1060. I'm gonna call it at 1060. So it's a little bit higher, I believe, than the last time I brewed this. So we'll see how she ferments out with this yeast. We're sitting right at 22 Celsius, going down to 20. So I'm probably gonna wrap a heating blanket around this. So thanks for joining me for another fine brew day. I'm not going to show pitching of the yeast because whether it's just me pouring this in, right? So thanks for coming along for the Brewday footage that I did shoot and everything else. So me and First Mate, as you can see, we got a lot of cleanup to do. It's snowing out. I don't know if you can see that. First snow of the year, and it's starting to stick now. Jeez. New Jersey, right? Alright guys, so till we do it again, my friends, I'll bring you back in 2 weeks when we bottle, and then hopefully that same day that I bottle, I will be also shooting more brew footage for the next batch being dumped on top of the yeast cake. So we'll see. Fingers crossed, you know, you never know. So until we do it again, my friends, remember, let's set sail.